I just know we were talking about Waluigi. I think we were making a joke like what it's like to have sex with Waluigi, and like him coming is like, wah! And I was shaking and vibrating to go along with the joke, and that fucking caused the fucking arm on the fucking chair that I was sitting on to break off. And we're back.
Are you guys ready?
You guys ready for more drama between Hat and fucking
Hella?
Yeah.
You guys ready for more of this bullshit?
For more
and
drama, sisters.
I would like to remind you that it's outside of them, like those two, and me. There are two other people that I work with, and one of them, like, they're both just like teenage dudes. And they're like the chillest motherfuckers I've ever met in my entire life. So I legitimately don't think that either of them care at all. They're just like going to work and being like, huh?
I
don't know if I've said this yet, but I go to work at like it's like a morning shift kind of job. Like I think the latest that anyone has ever stayed there has been like maybe 3:30 in the afternoon. Right. But everyone gets there at like 6 or 7 in the morning. So on top of the fact that this 60-year-old has beef with a 19-year-old, it is also 7 in the goddamn morning.
It's 7 in the morning.
It's 7 in the morning, and she's coming in like a bat out of hell, just pissed about everything, and I don't know why. Like, we just cut fruit and vegetables, and she comes in with like a hatred for life.
Stankest attitude.
I guess so. And so, where did I leave off? Yeah, like she kind of like cornered her in the cooler one day. Cornered Hella, I mean, and was like, I don't even know what she fucking said, but it was upsetting, and Hella cried like twice. And like, you know, you should never go to work and cry because somebody made you feel bad. I mean, like, not at least one of your coworkers. If it's like a customer, like that just happens. But if it's like, if you have a coworker that makes you feel like that much like a piece of shit,
yeah,
I feel like we got a problem here.
Got a bit of a situation.
We got a bit of a situation. So I assume between like that point and more recently, because this has been over a span of like 2 weeks, mind you. I guess Hella went to HR and told them about it and was like, hey, yo, this ain't cool. And they were like, yeah, you're right. That isn't cool.
Yeah, because it
like,
isn't.
It isn't, yeah. And then they called Hat up and they were like, you can't be doing this. And then I don't know if
19-year-old, you fucking
I
idiot.
don't know if they actually said this or not, but this is what Hat said to me. Like when she went up there, she was like, you have no friends here. You can't be doing stuff like this. And I'm like, talk about melodramatic.
I mean,
but you have no friends. It's a fucking grocery store job. The reason that people don't like you is because you talk shit about them, and they like, everybody in this fucking building can hear you. Nobody likes you. The reason that people have an issue with you is because you don't know when to shut up. Sometimes when we have thoughts about people that aren't nice, we have to keep them to ourselves. And this funny little thing called restraint.
Crazy, I know. I'm sorry, my sister and her friend are over, so you're probably gonna hear them yelling about
the screams of the damned.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it's just like when you and I hang out, except we just fart really loudly. Yeah, literally.
No, like
I have to tell the story of Drew breaking the chair in my basement too. After
this. Oh my god, yes.
I don't think we've talked about that at all. It's the best thing ever. It's such a good shift between like all the unhappy shit that's been happening at work and like the funniest shit that I've experienced in like a hot minute.
Dude, it's so funny.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff. So let me just wrap this Hat and Hella stuff up real quick.
Okay.
Because I'm sure I'm missing stuff, but it's basically just, yeah, hasn't been cool. And Hella has been, like, talking to HR about it. And Hat will come to me and be like, hey, yo, the fuck are they doing? Why don't people like me? And then I'll just be like,
I wonder why,
But
madam.
she's been very squirrely recently. Like, I'll go to work and then she'll say something. And it'll be like a little kind of like, you kind of like raise your eyebrow a little bit. And you're like, okay, I guess that was supposed to be funny. And then she'll be like, don't tell on me. Don't say anything to HR. And I'm like, Jesus, I fucking won't. Like,
Now that you say it like that, I kind of want to.
I forgot about the best part. So, this is the part where it's relevant to me, and you're like, okay, why does any of this shit matter? Like, why do you care about it? The reason it matters because Pat asked me the most peculiar question a while ago. I'm at work, right? And I'm cutting vegetables, and it is the two of us, and we're like listening to fucking country music because that's all we fucking listen to at work. Because the only kind of music this goddamn woman likes is fucking country music. And we're sitting there, and she comes over to me, and she was like, hey, I have something to tell you, but you have to promise not to tell anyone. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck is it? And she was like, I smoke marijuana. And I'm like, okay. In my head, I'm thinking, okay, and I'm fucking 20 and I'm in college. Most of the people that I know smoke weed. This isn't a big deal to me. And like, she comes up to me.
I fucking smoke weed.
Yes, you do. This is what I'm saying. Like, 75% of my friends smoke weed. I don't care. And she's like, do you smoke weed? And I'm like, I have previously, but I have not recently. And she looks at me, and there's like a tense quietness. There's like a moment of silence. And she was like, is it weird if I invite you over to my house to smoke weed? And this is when my fight or flight response kicks in, and I'm like, oh, stranger danger, woo! Like, ding dong, woo, woo,
she's
woo,
trying to fuck
me! And I'm just like, I don't know. And she was like, oh, okay. And I guess because, like, I didn't say no, she assumed it was a yes.
That's a terrible way to look at that, but
yes, it is. And when I leave for work that day, she was like, "Hey, give me your phone number." And I guess like I forgot what a spine was, like, or I like left mine at home that day because I fucking gave it to her.
Yeah.
And then she texted me, and she was like, "Rain check, my fucking kids got sick," and I'm like, "Oh, thank God!" And like, oh.
This bitch really out here having kids while beefing with the...
She has grandkids! She has fucking grandkids! She was like, yes, you see this 20-year-old who's literally minding her own business? Let me invite this asshole to my house. And in my head, I'm thinking, like, because she had told me all throughout that entire week, she was just kvetching to me, if you like, about how her husband was gone, like he was up north, and I don't know if she lives with anybody else. Like, I seriously thought that I was going to be going over to her house and it was just going to be the two of us, and that is a fuck no kind of situation, you know? Like,
fuck no,
baby. I don't know you well enough, and I do not care for you enough to feel safe going over to your house and having this be like a one-on-one thing. Like, what do you think that we have in common? Like, legitimately, what do you think that we have in common outside of fucking weed? Yeah. All right? Like, you're 60, I'm 20. You're clearly going through some shit because I also did not mention this. She'll just kind of like drop the most obscene shit onto you, like whether you want to hear it or not. Like, you'll just be doing your job, your own thing, and then she'll stop, and then she'll look at you, and then she'll start going on this tangent about something like just totally obscene that happened in her life. Like, she talked about how when she was a kid, her dad used to abuse her, I guess, and he was a piece of shit, and she doesn't want to be like him. And I'm like, whoa, it's about 8:30 a.m., lady. Why don't we just dial this back? It's 7 in the morning. It's 7 in the morning. Why don't we just think about some things? Maybe think about the consequences of our words before we fucking unleashing shit like that. You know what I'm putting down? You picking them up and putting down? She's not receptive of this. She's just like, okay, you don't talk a lot, so immediately you're gonna be the fucking dumping ground for all of my feelings, every thought that I'm gonna have for the next 8 hours, and you're just gonna have to be okay with that. And I'm like, oh no, oh no, there, no, there, no, there.
Literal, oh no, bro.
Exactly. Little did she know that if she kept saying shit like that, somebody was gonna fucking tattle. I want you to guess who it was. It was Hella. Ding dong, you win. So she goes up and she's telling HR this. And this is actually the same fucking conversation where they were like, "You have no friends here. They'll all tell on you, and you have to fucking change up your act." Which is why she's being so fucking squirrely recently. Like, there was a lady that we used to work with, and her name was Carly, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she fucking quit, I guess, and she like Hat brought her up once, and she like literally slapped her hand over her mouth, and she was like, "Don't tell on me, don't tattle. I didn't say anything." And I'm like, "What the fuck? What have I ever said?"
If you bring up someone and then slap your hand on your mouth and then ask them to not tell on you, I'm pretty sure that's grounds to tell on you. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not going to, though. Like, I'm not even gonna like complain to HR about the weed thing, because she came up to me like without any push or shove. Actually, no, with some push and shove from HR. And she was like, "Yeah, we can't meet up after work." So my problem is solved, and I no longer care because this no longer involves me on any personal level. I don't feel like I'm in danger anymore. I don't feel uncomfortable because there is no chance that I'm going to have to engage with this woman outside of work, so I don't fucking care anymore.
It's not my problem.
It is hashtag not my problem. You know what I'm saying? And she's just she'll come to work and she'll be like quiet when like Hella's in the room, and it's like because she's trying to avoid saying something that will upset Hella because she's kind of touch and go about some things that you talk about. And it's like, okay, you say that, but I legitimately just think that she's being so careful because, like I've said, Hat will say some really just out of nowhere shit.
Just be out of pocket.
That's really uncomfortable, and it's like, this isn't like her being sensitive, this is you just being fucking weird. I don't know how to tell you that. But,
Hat, you're starting to scare me.
You're starting to say some really upsetting shit, my man. And she'll just complain, and then, like, I'll go into work, and, like, the three of us are working together, and Ella will walk out to me, and she was like, "Is she mad?" And I'm like, "I don't know, but something's definitely up, because she usually never shuts the fuck up, and she's very quiet right now." And she was like, "Yeah, I wonder if it's because I report." I don't think she didn't report it to HR, but she like went to go and like talk to them about it. And I was like, "Yeah, that's probably fucking it." And she's like, "Oh." I'm like, "Why are you surprised? You did this."
It was you.
You literally, she can do no right. Like, she either talks to Hella and she gets reported for it, or she doesn't talk and then she also gets reported for it. So
Can't do nothing right.
So there's literally no winning situation here. And didn't I already talk about, like, when we're just, like, working together and, like, I was leaving and she was just already, like, really upset that day. And she was like, just leave, go home, I don't want you to stay here any longer. And I'm like, I'm gonna finish what I'm fucking doing. That's, like, super douchey if I don't. And she was like, okay. And she, like, bursts into tears after I was like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "I might lose my job. I've never been treated this way before." And I have some sympathy for her because she's been working there for like 4 years, and it fucking sucks to like be treated like shit suddenly, but it's only happening because she can't keep her mouth shut and is saying some really weird out of pocket shit at work to a bunch of like 18 to 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
And I don't care however you want to look at that, but it's weird.
It's weird.
It's weird. So that's where we're up to right now. I don't think she's gonna like lose her job or get fired or anything unless she says like something really fucking peculiar, which, you know, could happen, I guess.
I could see it happening.
I could see it. I don't
Wait,
want her to lose her job.
missing a star in Hazy Maze Cave. Bro, I suck. I didn't know I sucked this much.
You suck dick this much?
Apparently.
Man. And so yeah, that's where we're up to right now with all the work drama.
We're all caught up with that manga.
No, we're all caught up with that shonen manga. Let me tell you a classic fucking Drew and JJ and Rob story.
Oh, yes.
So I have the bozos.
The bozos, the gang.
That's what I call the boys. The bozos come over to my house, and whenever like the three of them get to my house, whenever the three of you guys get to my house, like JJ's got his little wooden racking chair, and then Rob always steals like the best seat outside of the couch that I sit on, which is like this nice plush rocking chair.
Yeah.
So Drew just gets fucking shafted every time he comes over to my house, and he either sits on
beats Rob.
Unless he beats Rob, which has not happened.
That does happen like every now and then.
It has not happened in a while though.
Yeah.
He gets happy about it. And he gets into his stink because honestly, he just has to fucking sit on the floor or on like this creaky ass wooden chair that was already on the verge of breaking. So I'm trying to come up with solutions because I don't want him to be uncomfortable, and I think that's part of the reason why he goes home early is because his ass gets stiff after sitting on a wooden chair for so long.
Yeah.
So I brought home this elastic chair that I had at college, and it was fucking awesome. Okay, it was like all nice and saggy like my nuts. And I have Drew sit on it, and he's a big guy, which
he is a larger man. Which can I just say I'm a large man too. So when I say that, it's not out of disrespect or anything. I'm just pointing out a fact.
Let me just say that Drew is a big boy, and we love him for it.
Yes.
And we're sitting down, and what were we even playing? Wasn't I playing like the Disney Princess Enchanted Journey or something?
I believe so. Yes.
Yes. So I was playing the Disney Princess Enchanted Journey just to add to the fucking stupidity of the story. And JJ, what did you even say beforehand? Because you had already gotten on the floor once. You were like, "I'm gonna fucking kill myself. I don't deserve to live."
I know what it was. Okay, so let me recount some of the activities that went down.
Yeah.
So, real quick detour from where the story was. So, we normally go to Target when we hang out, right?
Yeah.
Get some snacky snooks. But before that, we went to go see Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
It was fucking great, by the way.
It was fantastic, and I rewatched it like a couple days later with Ian with Ghost. Yeah, no, that movie is fan-fucking-tastic. If you have not seen it, go watch it. It is great. But, so, you know, we're all kicked up on this Sonic craze. You know, we're listening to Sonic music in the fucking car. And we go to Target. And, like, I see a fucking Sonic plushie. I was like,
Ina, can you spot me some kids so I can get the Sonic?
and you were like, of course, my friend. Of course. I would love to get you the Sonic plushie. Whatever makes you the happiest, dear. obviously, I'm exaggerating. Like, it's not like we're not like that. I'm just like, Anna, I found the one, and you're like, put her in.
Put her in.
So like we're in the snack aisle, and I see this fucking Sonic branded G Fuel. And I was like,
alright, I remember what happened. I'm sorry.
I was like, well, now I have to. I have to try this. Which, I'm that friend who, if they see some stupid fucking food that, like, stands out, I have to try it. I have to fucking try it. I remember, like, I want to say a week later, we hung out again, and I found, like, that chocolate bang, and that shit was disgusting. Like, I liked it for like 2 seconds. I was like, yeah, this is pretty okay. And then I sipped it again, and I was like, no, this is not okay.
This is actual booty and hole.
Yeah, it's chocolate because it tastes like ass.
Oh, you gotta say booty and hole.
Booty and hole. So we got that, And so we're just chilling. Oh wait, no, I didn't spill the Sonic. I spilled the chocolate. So I'm a liar, and we didn't need this context, but I'm glad I shared it anyway because we got to talk about Sonic 2 for a second. Anyway, I can't remember. I know I spilt that chocolate, but I feel like that night I also spilt something, or I made a mess, and I hate making messes. I fucking hate it. It is the worst feeling in the world because I feel like a fucking man-child. I'm serious, like dead ass. Like I feel like a fucking baby who can't control his fucking body correctly. Like I shouldn't be knocking over like a part of it. Like, and I just want to say before I say this, I'm not blaming Anna or anything. She had every right to be pissy about that day, but she had a birthday party at IHOP, and like I spilt water fucking everywhere, and it was the worst fucking feeling. And like, to be fair, like she didn't. Oh fuck! I didn't mean to collect that. But like, I just hate spilling water, especially in a place that's not like my home. Because if it's my home, then it's whatever, and I can deal with it. But if it's with other people, I just feel like a fucking baby, and I fucking hate that feeling. But no, so like, I don't remember the exact joke. We're back at Anna's place. We're playing Disney Enchanted Princess. I just know we were talking about Waluigi. I think we were making a joke like what it's like to have sex with Waluigi, and like him coming was like, "Wah!" And I was shaking and vibrating to go along with the joke, and that fucking caused the fucking arm on the fucking chair that I was sitting on to break off. And like I didn't like Anna was like, no, it's okay. The chair has been like on the brink of death for like a while now. Like, I'm not surprised it hasn't broken before. But like I didn't know that at the time. For all I knew, that could have been like a special like chair that like someone in the family who died like very early on fucking
heirloom or something.
Yeah, like I didn't know. I didn't know what chair it was. Like it's just whatever. All I knew is that I broke a chair that looked like something a grandma would sit on. So I was like, oh no, oh no. So like, I'm on the floor. Okay, I will say, me being like, I gotta kill myself. I don't deserve happiness. That was a joke. That was all a bit. Like I don't actually feel like that. Like, I still felt bad, but it's, like, not enough to be like, I gotta kill myself, this is it, my life is over. Mario, do not fall off, I swear to God. So, because I didn't want to break the chair more, I just laid on the ground, which, to be fair, is oddly comfortable.
Yeah.
Because it straightens out your fucking back. But, like... So I'm laying on the ground, and then that's when the event happened, and I would like Anna to continue the story.
So JJ's already on the floor in despair, just kind of wallowing in his own shame, and it's fine. Like I'm pretty sure I had already like fixed the arm of the chair at that point, and it was like it's literally fine. It's no biggie. And Drew went to go take a shit, I think, and he came back, and he's sitting in the chair, and like whenever he sits down, he kind of, man, he goes ass first. He puts his whole ass into it, and it's fine, it's cool. But I guess the dummy thickness of his butt cheeks,
of his booty cheeks, could not be held up by this elastic chair, and it just fucking collapsed underneath him. And he falls, and he lands on the floor, and I'm thinking like, okay, it's fine, it's cool, like I can just bend it back into place. The legs of the chair are made out of metal, and he fucking bent it. He fucking bent it under the weight of his body. And he gets up, and we're like, Rob and I are just trying to like bend it back into place, and we're like trying to figure out like what the fuck happened to it. And I find it, and I find the bend,
and it's just like enough that you notice it, and you're like, oh yeah, we can't fix that. We can't bend that into place. And Drew is like on the floor, and he's kind of sitting in like this little baby position. That's like all I can think of how to describe it. And he's like fucking crying, and he's like,
he's not actually crying. He's going like,
no, he's going like, he's like fucking
sounds like Seth Rogen.
But he's having like a mental breakdown, and he's like, I'm sorry, I don't deserve a chair.
My favorite fucking part is when you admitted it to him that like it was broke beyond repair. He's like, oh no. It was so
and I'm like,
funny.
I'm not mad. Like, I'm a little pressed because I was hoping to bring it back to school with me, but it's not like they're gonna stop making them. And he is like,
God, I fucking love Drew. He's fucking great.
And he's like, it's not. And I'm like, it is.
I fucking love Drew.
Like,
he's so fucking funny.
So hard, and I feel so bad because he was so bent out of shape about it, like the chair was. It was like a good half an hour at least. And he was on the floor, and he was just like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, it's good, it's fine, we're chill. And he's like, and he starts fucking crying, and we would all start laughing again because it's fucking funny. He's like, I mean, I'm mostly joking, but I'm also not. And I'm like, are you sure? And he would just be like, he would like nod a little bit, and he'd go like, it was so
funny. It's so fucking funny, dude.
I'm excited. I also meant to ask you, are you gonna be busy tomorrow?
I don't know. Booted up my PC because I need that Fortnite Battle Pass.
Oh my god, you should ask your parents because I'm gonna hang out with Drew and Rob tomorrow, and I would absolutely be delighted if you would accompany us to our usual shenanigans.
Our usual shenanigans.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll ask when, you know.
The episode's over. I love this guy. He's the cutest little man ever.
Plessy, yeah.
No, don't do him down. Don't do him like that.
Well, I gotta get on his head.
I know you need to lift him up. He needs to do that to like lift you on his little head, but I don't endorse this. I don't endorse abuse like this.
Also, you know what I endorse?
What do you endorse?
Ending the episode.
Oh my god. What a good fucking story for the episode though, right?
Yeah, no, it was funny.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
No.
Oh no! Crying is the best part. It was like a mix between like the Senior Palo cry, like the, like the,
yeah,
and then like his own fucking thing that he would do. He's just like, and I don't know how to describe it. It's gold.
I love Drew.
If we ever record with him, we have to ask him to fucking do it. It's so good. Like that, and then like the shaky breath that he does is the funniest.
Yeah. Alright, Anna, give them some forehead kisses before we do the fucking Midwestern goodbye.
Alright. Everybody line up for your little forehead kisses. Just go a little. Yep, everyone got one? Everyone got one? I'm gonna give one little last cry for the crowd because I know it's funny. Just a little.
I love that it fucking sounds like Seth fucking Rogen.
It does. Oh god. My dad was putting up light bulbs outside.